What's going on, Leo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a phenomenal month so far. So for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, Leo, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Let me tell you why, Leo, because it is Celestial News Monthly. Sidebar, Leo, that's like the third time I've had to do it. I couldn't even get past the intro. I'm so excited about this month, and I've seen where I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to tone this down like a little bit. So just a little insider there, Leo. But with this Celestial News Monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, we're going to talk about where all the planets are at and then how we can work with the energies. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave all the silliness with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Leo. So Leo, I have some oracle cards laid out here with the zodiac signs that the planets are in. I'm gonna pull an oracle, one oracle card from this deck for each of them, and then we'll get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. And also down below are some links for some other tarot card readers that I like as well. So yeah, they're fantastically. So yeah, give them a look whenever you get a chance there. But let's talk about the party that's going down in Cancer. If you can't, my sun sign's in Cancer, so of course I'm geeking out a little bit. But this is great, Leo, because you have your ruler, the sun entering Cancer, and then we have Mercury that's going to be hanging out with Cancer as well. But the sun is going to enter Cancer on the 21st of June at about 9:58 in the morning. That's going to be Central Time, and we'll be there through July 22nd. And with this energy, Leo, this begins the summer solstice. You ready to get outside, enjoy some sun, bask, go to the beach, have a good old time there, Leo. But this is great. This is great energy for you, Leo, to really focus on your close relationships. Cancer is very much about forming strong bonds. They're the sign of family, sign of the home, the sign of roots, emotions, compassion, and this is learning to really tune into how your emotions may fluctuate, Leo, because the dispositor of Cancer is going to be the moon, and the moon changes signs, or changes signs and phases all the time. So you may be feeling a lot of emotions during this little period of time here. But you can use that to your advantage. Where sure, on an unbalanced scale, Cancerians can be emotional sensitive, but once we learn to kind of tune in with those things and use those emotions to guide you, beautiful things can happen, Leo. And you couple that with how creative your sign, because you know how I always love talking about how creative your sign is, because you don't prove me wrong yet, so I'm gonna keep saying it. But when you couple how naturally creative you are, Leo, and then when you take the emotional depth that Cancer can feel and everything that we process all the time, and when you learn to channel those emotions through whatever medium of art you do, whether this could be technology, this could be in dance, this could be in art and easel, maybe we're making music, poetry, books, but whatever that's looking like, if you can take, and even when we're talking about not even just like happy emotions, Leo, when we even talk about doing some of that shadow work, maybe some of those deeper things that we may avoid, that we keep kind of stuffed down. What a very using your creative outlets to deal with these, to kind of nurture those emotions, I feel like can really bring some great growth there, Leo. So just something to think about. And then you couple that with Mercury that's going to be entering Cancer a few days later on the 26th of June, and will be there through the 10th of July. This is great for strengthening your bond with yourself and with others. And that's really great too when you think about with Venus entering into your sign as well, which we're going to talk about next. But, you know, Venus just got out of Cancer. You know, we're just strengthening those bonds, and now we're really kind of connections are going to be really kind of the name of the game here. And I just don't mean like casual stuff, Leo, not to say that casual things can't happen, but we are connecting on a deeper level. We're thinking about building that security, you know, finding that foundation in others and in ourselves, Leo. So really focus on that self-growth. But this is also a great time for thinking about like getting like that head and heart alignment, because when you think about Mercury, the planet of thinking, communication, rules over Gemini and Virgo, both very analytical kind of more, not to say they don't feel emotions, but it's an interesting place for Mercury, but we can really utilize to that advantage because it gives you kind of King of Cups type of vibes where, you know, when an emotion comes up, we observe it, we feel it, we process it, and then we take the growth from it and give it love and light, you know, and then take care. So really utilize this energy to your advantage, Leo. Nice. I love that. So let's talk about your energy for this one here, Leo, because you got the 7th card of Taurus is here, which is the eyeglasses card. And with this card, this is a card of assessment, evaluate options, perspective, review, analyze, opinion, judgment, examine, seeing clearly, the fine print, estimate, closer look, focus, awareness, and check the details. And so this is a great energy, Leo, for thinking about different perspectives, you know, in considering other people's as well, you know, creating that safe space to have, like, you know, dialogues to maybe if we've been meaning to discuss some serious things with some people, you know, maybe take maybe a relationship to the next level, or maybe we're thinking about even possibly, because Cancer, you know, dealing with the 4th house, you know, can deal with the home and things. Maybe we're even thinking about do we love the relationship with our current living situations, you know? It's a time for really examining all aspects of your life, and if we're not feeling secure in that spot, and I know that's very similar to Taurus, but Cancerian and Taurus energy, they have a very close bond. The moon is exalted in Taurus, and Venus just has a great relationship with Cancer, both the moon and Venus being feminine energies. So that's where that kind of overlap comes in, but where it's like Cancer is gaining the awareness of where we want stronger connections, and then Taurus is putting that into application, you know what I mean? Kind of, in that sort of sense. But I do feel that this is a great time for, if things have been feeling unclear, maybe because, you know, Mars is getting ready is going to be entering out of your sign, towards the beginning of, around the same time that Mercury is going to be entering into Leo, but around the 10th. But, you know, during that period of time, you know, Mars and Leo can be very hot energy on an unbalanced scale. You know, might have noticed there was a lot of things may have been a little more over dramatic than normal during that period of time. So maybe if something kind of blew up out of proportions here, this is a great time again to maybe create a safe space, a judgment-free zone, and really talk about those emotions, you know, really go in deep, and don't be afraid to face those stuff, Leo, because I feel that once we learn to feel those things, then we can get more, because I feel like it's not about control over the emotions, it's learning to work with them, you know what I mean? So let's get some tarot on this and get some details. Okie dokie, Leo. Let's see what we got here. Interesting. All right, Leo. So you got, oh, how funny. Look at you syncing up with the energies here. So you have, that's fascinating. So you have the moon and the Temperance card in reverse here. And then we have the Devil, the 7 of Pentacles, and then the Queen of Cups upright. And so, Leo, I feel like with the Temperance and the Devil popping up here, because after Temperance is the Devil. oddly enough. And I feel that if something has been throwing you out of balance, if there's been some sort of vice, or if there's been some sort of relationship that maybe we found ourselves, that we've invested in, that has been yeah, just something that has been lowering our vibration, or really has thrown us out of whack here. Because I love this too, considering that the moon is in, or that the sun is in Cancer right now. That you got the sun here in the moon, and those are the moon is a dispositor, like I was saying, of Cancer. Pay attention to that stuff, Leo. Let's do some reflection with the Queen of Cups. And if you've noticed, again, that something you feel like something is under your control, or something along those lines. With the moon being in reverse here, this is saying that it doesn't have to be that way. It's just we've invested so much power into that thing that we think that we can't get over this thing. But you know, the nice thing about the moon here, Leo, after the moon is your ruler, the sun. But it's just, we got to get eyes on these maybe toxic relationships, or this could even be maybe we're in like a toxic work environment or something along those lines. Just something where you just notice that you're not feeling at your best. You know, we have to, or I feel like it would be to your benefit to just, yeah, again, pay attention to where you put your energy into things, how it makes you feel afterwards. Because it's one thing to know that we have a problem with something, but but if we ignore how it makes us feel, it gets it tougher to get some eyes on that, Leo. And I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I just feel like for some, especially with this eyeglasses popping up here, there's just something, you know, let's just, and Leo, if there's nothing you can think of right now, I don't feel like, don't force this thing. But, you know, just as this journey comes down, because we all have some, you know, little something that we could always be, that can help us get back in balance here. And we just want to catch it before it becomes a habit, before it becomes ingrained in this temperance energy. And then we're dealing with, you know, then we got some lessons to do, some growth to do. So just something I feel like to keep in mind during this, really just during always, but especially during this season. You know what I mean, Leo? And also, just thinking with the Queen of Cups, like I was saying, make sure to show yourself some compassion if this is something that is resonating with you, because devil moments aren't meant to just put this in your face and just be like, oh, Leo, you're weak, you know, like you can't seem to get over this thing or whatever this is. But no, it's just meant to say like, hey, this makes you feel like crap. You know, like, and if you want to keep that going, the devil will kick it with you. That's the thing. You know, the devil's not going to tell you what to do. You know, if it's just like, okay, you want to party down? Psh, all right, let's go. Let's do it. But when you're ready to get back in alignment, you know, and really get your energies, you know, get your energies flowing well, you know, get this beautiful plant growing towards the sun again. It's right there waiting for you, Leo. And the thing is, even when we get eyes on this, you know, the devil where it's not to say that like once you get eyes on it, it's done with. You know, this may manifest in a couple of different ways. Once we take that first step towards it, it's going to be smooth sailing for a little bit, but then the devil likes to just kind of do like random check-ins, just like, hey, you know, I remember you said we were working on this thing, but, you know, we'll put like a weird scenario or something along those lines. Like higher self really doesn't try that hard when he puts these situations in our faces, but it's just, are we seeing the signs of like how ingrained it is, or how ingrained this thing may be? So, and again, Leo, just know that when we do get eyes on this thing, it only has as much power over you as we invest in it, okay? I like that. And that's how you heal through Cancer season, absolutely. Now, let's talk about you. Let's get some teeth and talk about this Leo energy. Because you have Venus that just entered Leo not too long, well, earlier this month in June, and then you have Mercury that's going to be entering Leo a little bit later as well. It's just like, wait, I got Mercury trice on here. Yes, I do, because Cancer season is about to be a little busy, because Mercury is going to enter into Cancer on the 11th of June, or excuse me, the 11th of July, and will be there through the 28th of July. And with this energy, now we're shifting from, that more kind of intuitive sort of like, and it's not like the intuition is going to stop going into your sign. If anything, is about to crank up. I got Mercury in Leo. But now that we're switching from, the emotional side of it, the communications are going to become more straightforward with Mercury entering into Leo. And expect lots of jokes, Leo, and a lot of laughter, because yours is a fun sign, Leo. You have such bright energy. You really know how to light up a room, and that's really great energy for this, especially, while we're going through this Cancer season. There might be some intense emotions that we're dealing with, but it doesn't have to be all just like, oh my God, we're just going to be feeling all this stuff. No, we can, once we feel about it and we get eyes on it and see how things may have been, how we may have been, got caught up in it at first, eventually we can just laugh about it. It becomes great stories when you think about it. But this is also a great energy, with Mercury being, the sign of how we think and stuff. And again, yours being such a creative sign, really tapping into that creative energy, investing in a hobby, getting, however that may be looking, Leo, it's just like you are going to be in a very creative, summer, the summer solstice is a very creative time for you, Leo, for all of us, but I feel like for you in particular, really allow your light to shine. Get this stuff cooking up here so that when the sun enters your sign, you can just shine sunlight all over the place. And then you couple that with Venus. Venus entered Leo on the 5th of June and will be there through the 8th of October. Yeah, we got Venus is going to be chilling there for a while because she's about to go retrograde in your sign a little bit later, and which we'll talk about on the next celestial one. But with this energy, can make extroverts out of all of us. It's going to be, now you're going to be talking with more confidence, and could be great energy if if we're looking for maybe a little romance or something like that. Might be doing a little sweet talking there, Leo. I see you. But also, because we are in Cancer season, things might get a little emotional. We got a little bit of Leo energy in the mix here. There may be a possibility for some drama. You know what I mean? So just keeping eyes on that, observing as things are are just kind of transpiring in our worlds, Leo, creating those safe space if we notice that our feelings are getting a little bit hot there. So, and then something to think about as well, Leo, with all this, with Mercury and with Venus, and with Mars for a little bit longer until about the 10th of July. All of those planets are going to be forming conjunctions with your signs. And conjunctions, depending on where your Leo placements are at. And conjunctions are very interesting energies because it's like this planet, and it's like almost like Invader of the Body Snatchers, where it's just like this new energy is kind of like coming in and just like hey, let's shift things up a little bit. You might just, I feel like when conjunctions happen, it's just like you notice that you feel just a little bit weird, like you feel different. And then like other people, it's more visible, I feel like, to those around you than it is to yourself. And sometimes that can make you feel a little anxious, It's one of those, it's like how to integrate those, because the planet that's coming in is like the dominant energy for right now, It's conjunctions, when we're able to let the flow, once the flow really starts to get blended in, it can be very, very beneficial energy. But you just may notice a little bit of stress at first. You might feel a little awkward, maybe feel like it's like the same vehicle but different driver possibly, or he's learned a few tricks along the way. So just something to think about there, Leo. But let's get an oracle on this. Oh, all right, I'm with it. Oh, we're really getting some details here, Leo, because you got the 7th card of Virgos here, which is the fine print card. And with this card, this is a card of detail, look closer, inspection, research, be careful, in depth, pay attention, don't assume, thorough, deep dive, hidden information, double check, and read between the lines. And Leo, I feel like it's really, it's like pay attention to if there's a situation that has you, honestly, that's got you feeling some kind of way, if we're feeling like a lack of security somewhere, or if something doesn't feel right, maybe with like a person, if you feel like maybe there's some dissonance there, if we're not, there's something here with this Virgo, or excuse me, with this fine print card. Yeah, really just about making sure we're analyzing something, or interesting, Leo. Let me get some tarot on this and get some details. There's Mercury. All right, let's see what's going down here, Leo. Interesting. Okay, so you have the Knight of Cups upright here, but then we have the Page of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and then the Magician in reverse here. So for some of you, Leo, first thing that kind of popped in my head, you know, the Knight of Cups, and this Knight of Cups really goes in. If this is something to do with a relationship, if we're feeling that if we've been getting in our heads, maybe if we've got an idea of, maybe we think like there's maybe been some kind of like lying or some kind of deception, and you know, this doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. This could, maybe we could be with family, with friends, maybe with our job. You know, maybe there's something that we need to look into. As far as like maybe some documents, even along those lines, if this is like a business aspect or something like that. But yeah, if we're feeling some kind of uncertainty or something for like that, and it's been something that's been weighing on our mind, the Magician being Mercury here, and it's been kind of affecting your day-to-day, you haven't been able to just, you know what I mean? It's just like a nagging feeling. I feel that there may be something where maybe we need to create a space to address this thing, you know, with this person, with this business, with these, you know, whatever this is, especially considering that you got the Devil here. You know, just be mindful of that, Leo. And you know, something to think about as well, because listen, I got a whole bunch of Leo in my chart, so listen, when I'm not coming at you, Leo, but Leo energy has a tendency to sometimes be a little over exaggerative, you know, can have a tendency to over exaggerate sometimes. And it's not to say that you're lying, but I almost feel just like maybe even for some, you know, just paying attention to, just maybe paying attention to how we might be communicating possibly, or something along those lines, Leo. There's, let me get a little bit more on the Seven of Swords here. All right, Leo. Interesting. Yeah, so the Seven of Swords is clarified by the Queen of Swords in reverse, and then we have the Two of Pentacles, and then the Eight of Swords upright here. So Leo, if there's something that's been on your mind that's been really bothering you, and if we need the answer to something, I feel like really, let's go ahead and get this thing figured out, because maybe we may be avoiding this stuff because we don't want to maybe we're trying to avoid some drama. You know, maybe we don't want this to become a big thing. But here's something, Leo. You know, if you let this thing fester, all we're doing is manifesting dissonance. And I'm not saying that we're creating a devil moment per se, or, you know, a tower moment or anything like that. But if we keep this stuff bottled up, tower moments can happen. You know, I feel like those nagging instincts, that intuition is trying to get ahead of the chase. You know, I feel like tower moments usually have, we get a window period to address this stuff before it becomes more kind of an external issue. And again, it's not for you to be scared. It's just something for you to get eyes on, to really understand what's going down here. Because this is interesting energy, Leo. And I also feel too, if we feel like we can't trust the people around us, possibly, I feel like Yeah, just something here about how can we change that up or something along those lines, because it feels like that maybe even this is something that, yeah, it's like it could be like affecting your work, or it could be affecting just like your day-to-day routine or something along those lines. Like, I'm not sure, Leo, but just be careful about, or you know what? Yeah, I feel like it could be with this Eight of Pentacles, making sure like if we're not to let our thoughts become this, you know, not let that narrative play in our head and keep building this bigger story than what we might be building up here, Leo. So yeah, even just thinking with this, yeah, because you got the don't assume here. Just let's get all the facts, Leo. However this may be translating, if something is going down or if something comes down in the future, let's just get eyes on that, okay? Because maybe this could be something where maybe we feel like we're being strung along somehow with the devil here, or you know, someone's telling us that we may be, you know, possible gaslighting things or something along those lines, Leo. But I feel like there's just like, you know, getting out of our heads, you know, a lot of overactive energy. Trust your feelings, trust that intuition, because they're usually, you can't go wrong trusting that gut. So, all right, Leo. Yeah, just a little something to think about. Now, let's talk about Mars, because Mars has been up in your sign for a little while, but it's going to be entering into Virgo on the 10th of July and will be there through the 27th of August. And this is actually a really dope placement for Mars, if you ask me, because this is with Virgo energy. They're very much, one of my favorite things, they are very efficient at what they do. They really know how to get things organized and, you know, get stuff to work. But this is great for focusing on your health, you know, whether that your health, and not health advice, but you know, your mental health, your physical health, all of that, spiritual health. But do be mindful of this energy of being overly critical, just because Virgo energy, because they're a sign of purity and perfection, you know, wanting to get everything, you know, as perfect as possible. It can lead to a little bit of overcorrecting, you know, and being harsh on ourselves. And I almost feel like, especially just too with the devil popping up, just being aware of extremes, you know what I mean? Just like of like extreme behaviors or something along those lines there. But let's get, yeah, that was more of just kind of like a little intuitive thing. But let's get a little bit more on, get an oracle card on this. Interesting. All right, Leo. So you got the 5th card of Pisces here, which is the spilled milk card. And with this card, this is a card of regret. Accidents happen. Don't sweat the small stuff, mistakes. Leave it in the past. It's over, cannot be changed. Disappointed, cleanup time, let it go, in minor problems. And you know, Leo, because listen, I don't feel like this is like, this is like a relation. If we're in like a relationship right now, if everything feels fine, I feel like don't go looking for stuff, Leo. Like, you know what I mean? But I feel like this is more so if something doesn't feel right, or if we may be going through like some sort of like separation or disappointment or anything along those lines. I feel that this energy is saying that, especially let's start with this. If this is like a relationship, because when we think about that, we don't like it when people come and just spill milk all over us. You know, when we may have had these expectations, had really felt like, you know, really invested in this person, like we could see this thing going long term, you know, what we thinking about the things we were going to maybe create and manifest and all that stuff. But, you know, if things happen to go south, there was a lesson in that, Leo, that was meant to teach you something, because the 7 of Swords as well can be a card of skills, because sometimes when we do, you know, get lied and, you know, when we don't trust our intuition, or maybe if we ignore the red flags or the signs that just like to maybe I need to slow down or pump the brakes, that teaches us discernment, you know, and it really sharpens that intuition. But And maybe that's something too where I was talking about with that extremes. I feel like if this is something, try not to make it where if one person did you wrong or something along those lines, try not to let it become a thing where we're putting, like where we're generalizing, where yes, we may want to be, maybe use a little more patience on the next one, you know, maybe not wholly invest right off the bat, but you know, just like easing into it, you know, maybe taking things slow, maybe tell this person, you know, if we do have something that comes up in the future, just be like, hey, you know, I'm currently cleaning up a mess right now, totally interested, but it's just like, can we maybe take this a little bit slow, kind of process this stuff? And that's very good, very Virgo energy, you know, just like, hey, let me get you figured out here first. Let me check some details and see, let me read between the lines before we go and do this stuff. So I do feel that it's, because even thinking about just the leaving it with the past, or leaving it in the past, it's not, making sure that we are processing this thing, Leo, you know, taking the time to understand what we did learn from this thing. But then, yeah, taking this stuff and just growing from here, because when we hold on to like disappointments and regrets and things, they can really weigh us down, and that can get into devil territory too, where we're letting those things become like shackles, and letting that flavor how we take action, but to an extreme, you know what I mean? We just want to be mindful of getting caught up in our heads, but let's get some tarot on this. All right, interesting, ladies. So you got the Nine of Pentacles here, Page of Cups in reverse, and then the Six of Pentacles upright. And so, I mean, you're racking up a lot of cups here, Leo. You almost got a full family. And that's interesting, because maybe for some of us, you know, maybe we were at this place where maybe we were talking about maybe possibly, you know, maybe building a family, something along those lines. You know, maybe there was... Yeah, I'm not sure, Leo. You know, I feel like maybe that something may have happened where we thought things were going to go a lot further than they were, or maybe we had this whole kind of idea kind of dreamed up. And again, this could be in a relationship with like a lover. Maybe this is like, maybe we thought a work situation was going to go well, but then things may have went south, or whatever this is, Leo. I feel like for some of you, you know, so it's like, it's interesting. It's just like maybe it's paying attention to, I feel like, how we're putting out our energies, you know, and I don't mean like it's that you're just like if you're giving as much as you, or getting as much as you're giving, Leo. And I feel like really pay close attention to that in all aspects of your life. And if we're noticing, like, and if not, I feel like this is a great time to really kind of work on yourself, you know, kind of get those, because let me get a little more on this Nine of Pentacles here, Leo. Interesting. Okay. So the Nine of Pentacles is clarified by the Judgment card here. And you know, maybe this is something where a lot of us, maybe we've been kind of focusing on maybe more kind of relationship stuff. And I feel like that there can be some really great growth here, Leo, with the Judgment coming down here. If we take some time, if we've just maybe been kind of focused on like other people's things, you know, like I feel like just like doing stuff for others, like, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but I feel like it's when we're doing it to our detriment, and we're getting to this place where it feels like we always like when is it going to be my time, you know, when can I do this stuff, you know. I feel like you know, just if we've been, yeah, Leo, I'm really getting this energy of, you know, really just kind of taking a little bit of time and focusing on you right now. You know, are you fulfilling all of your goals and dreams, and, you know, feel like that this is, that you're in your energy. I'm not quite sure with what that is, Leo, but if any of this is resonating with you, you know, I feel like it's like, it is something about, you know, getting your harmony back, or getting in the routine of you, or something along those lines, Leo. And I hope that this makes sense, but All right, but I think I'm gonna move on from that, Leo. But you know, this is considering that this popped up in Virgo's energy too. You know, Virgo is a sign, can be a sign of routines as well. You know, and they get just make you a routine, Leo, because this is Venus in Virgo, and that's working towards your Empress energy there. So just something to think about. But let's get it. You know what? And this might make sense with this next one here, because you got with Taurus energy, you have Jupiter that's in Taurus, and then you have till next year, and then you got Uranus in Taurus. But Jupiter will be in Taurus until May 25th, 2024. And with Jupiter being in Taurus, this is an interesting energy because we are thinking about these long-term investments, you know, and long-term abundance. How can we get the most out of the stuff that we're putting in right now? And I mean, we've been working on some stuff. You got 6, 7, and 8 of Pentacles here. It's just like paying attention to how energies like, wow, yeah, 6, 7, 8, and 9 of Pentacles here, Leo. And I was just thinking about that. You really are working up the investment chain here. And if we're noticing that a routine or something is not working, or if we're pouring into this stuff and we're not seeing any sort of results, then let's reflect on that. Let's figure out how we can tweak this stuff, because that's what Jupiter wants during this time, is for us to find balance and stability in whatever area of our life that we need, you know, just thinking about, we'll talk about with that Taurus energy. So, and then building that security, you know, whether that be through, you know, maybe we're doing some more self-care things, or whatever that's looking like, Leo, but just something to think about there. And then you also have Uranus that's going to be in Taurus for the next couple of years. Uranus will be in Taurus until July 7th of 2025, day before my birthday, so that's exciting. But with Uranus being in Taurus, things have been changing for the longest time. You know, Uranus has been going to work, and we still have a couple more years, especially with how the outer planets are going to be doing a lot of movements over here, especially in 2025. It's going to be a big old planetary shift, and it's going to be a lot of newness that's going to be happening, Leo. So this is a 2. Really paying attention to if there are any areas that we're not feeling secure in. You know, how can we adapt with this change that's happening? Because you know, we're in a new era. You know, it's like the age of Aquarius, pretty much. You know, getting the age of the air signs. You know, it's going to be a lot going down, an exciting time. You know, what brilliance and what love do we want to bring into this stuff? But let's get an oracle on this. Oh, before I do that, this is going to be an interesting energy for you as well, Leo, because for these energies, you know, depending on where your Leo placements are at, this is going to form squares with your signs. And squares there are energies of tension. You know, they may cause some internal conflicts, some restrictions, challenges, irritations. It's delayed achievement. It's not just going to be where it's just you're just going to be eating it for the next couple of years. It's just like squares. I feel like squares put us in situations to remind us of how resourceful we can be. You know, sometimes I feel that, especially maybe some of us maybe been resonating with that maybe like relationship aspect, because this could even be maybe even some like kind of possibly even some kind of codependency energy possibly, but I do feel like that the squares are there to remind you again of how resourceful you can be, you know, when you get in a tough situation, you know, yeah, sometimes we gotta think outside of the box, but we can totally get past this thing when we put our hearts into it and put our minds to it, Leo. But now let's get an oracle on this. Oh, yeah. Dope. That's what I'm talking. Ooh, Leo. All right, we got your third 7 here. We got the 7th card of you, Leo, which is the Declaration card. And with this card, this is a card of defiance, reclaiming power, sovereignty, contract, resolve, expressing truth, manifesto, self-rule, liberty or death, rules of the game, protesting, changes, and changing the status quo. And this is what I've been kind of feeling throughout this reading, Leo. You know, whatever vice, you know, or relationship with people, you know, substances, yeah, I feel like it's really reclaiming your sovereignty back, really getting into your, where you're feeling just stable in your abilities, you created your, because maybe that's something too with this Magician in reverse. Maybe we're looking around and we feel like nothing is ours, possibly, like it's just like, not like a what you have to show for it, because it's not that I don't feel like haven't been doing anything, Leo, but it's more so just like maybe we've just wanted more, we wanted to feel, whatever this is, Leo, just because it's talking about with this expressing the truth and with your Seven of Swords being in reverse here, we do need to be honest with ourselves, and face these things if we're not feeling that there's this, again, this reciprocity, or if we feel an unbalance in our investments or something along those lines. But being mindful of that, but also let me get a little. Let's get some tarot on this before I get into that, Leo. All right, Leo. So you got the Knight of Pentacles and the World in reverse here, and then we have the Queen of Wands and then the Four of Cups upright here. And Leo, I feel like for some of you, maybe if we're in this place right now, if we've been feeling like maybe our world has been just sort of meh, we've just been sort of like a why bother, maybe things just really haven't been going your way, and it's just been, maybe just been feeling kind of stuck in a cycle, and we're starting to maybe kind of lose some hope, or we're just there like, because Four of Cups can be very apathetic type of energy. This is the moon in Cancer. And yeah, I just feel that if there's something where you've been, just been feeling kind of stuck or anything along those lines, then I feel like it is reclaiming your power, tapping into that Queen of Wands energy and creating a new experience. This gives me almost very Fool energy. Just like if we've been wanting change, then we're going to need to create that change. And this could be something where we might be kind of heavily invested in something. Let's say, for example, if this is like a marriage, and maybe we've been noticing that things haven't been going. We've been trying to put in this work. It's been going, but it's just like we've been feeling like there's no kind of growth, that maybe there has been maybe some lying, some cheating, however that may be looking, and sometimes we can stay in stuff because we may not like how it feels, but it's just something that we know, it's just something comfortable. Like it may, you know what I mean, Leo? We may compromise on something. I feel that it's not dragging your feet on this, because this is the Knight of Pentacles. This is Taurus's card. He was the first two deacons of Taurus and the last of Aries. And so it's taking that fire, Leo, and changing things up. Not like, and listen, this is not me telling you what to do, but it's just if that's the narrative that we've been noticing, Leo, maybe this is something, maybe do some journaling. If something's, you got a lot of writing stuff here too, this fine print eyeglasses stuff, maybe do some journaling. I love doing that. There's just one thing to think about. Or maybe think about this stuff, maybe going for a walk on the field, or maybe even talking with someone about this, Leo, because you do got quite a bit of people popping up here. So yeah, just something, something to think about there, Leo, when we're, just if we're just feeling stuck. I feel like it's time to change the rules of the game, because the only person that's keeping you there is you, Leo. You can change this thing whenever you're ready, and again, this is not a judgment. This is just getting eyes on some things and get to thinking about some stuff and thinking about, again, is this how I pictured my world? Is this really what I wanted? So, all right, Leo. All right, let's get into Pisces energy. Because you have Saturn in Pisces, and then you got Neptune in Pisces, and this one's going to be an interesting time here, Leo, because Saturn is going to is retrograde in Pisces right now. It'll be retrograde until the to the 4th of November. And Saturn will be in Pisces for the next 3 years, so 2025. But with Saturn retrograding in Pisces, this has been like a cosmic interrogation. You know, Saturn is just like, hey, what have we been doing to manifest our dreams? You know, what have we been doing Saturn, if we've been feeling stuck in a cycle, you know, if we've been feeling held down by some things, you know, with Capricorn energy, you know, and that's interesting too, even just talking about that, you know, because oh, and that's interesting too. Actually, okay, yeah, Leo, we are going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about Pluto next. But, you know, with Saturn and Pluto both being retrograde right now, there's going to be very heavy emphasis on, you know, letting go of things that aren't holding you back. Or excuse me, letting go of things that are holding you down, or that you know, or that are putting you to your detriment. So, and I feel like especially with both of them popping up here, be getting eyes on that, Leo. If you've noticed any kind of restrictions or whatever that may be, you know, it's going to be intense. It could be a potentially intense time, because Pluto and Saturn don't play around. It could potentially be an intense time if we're not paying attention to the signals, you know, really trusting our intuition and putting in that shadow work. And, you know, just because you got, you know, this eyeglasses, this fine print card, you know, reclaiming your power. Be thinking about that Leo. Oh, and I'm about to get into it. And actually too, because retrograde season is really starting to kick up here. All the planets are getting ready to start going crazy, starting in Virgo season, oddly enough, where the spilled milk is happening. But Neptune is going to be going retrograde. Oh, did I finish up with Saturn? Yeah, I think I finished up with Saturn. But Neptune is also going to be retrograding in Pisces as well. And it's going to be, Neptune will be in Pisces till 2025, but will be retrograde in Pisces from the 30th of June until the 6th of December. And so this is going to be a powerful time for introspection and self-discovery and really connecting with your inner self and inner wisdom. So, and for you, I really, just with how these energies are popping up here, I feel that that's going to be very important for you, Leo. Just paying attention to how things make you feel and how, and how we can move on to those next steps and what the healing kind of process, you know, how we sub this in for maybe some newer routines or something along those lines. But let's get an oracle on this. Okay, Leo. All right, you got the third card of Aquarius here, which is the Black Widow card. And with this card, this is a card of betrayal, warning, twisted, turncoat, cunning, danger, toxic situation or relationship, web of control, entrapment, unexpected attack, insidious, poisonous, and low vibrations. And listen, Leo, I don't feel like this is something where it's, because this is not, I don't feel like this energy is like saying that people are out to get you. This is more of a beware of low vibrational activities, you know, however that's looking like, and people that we're hanging around with. If there's something that is feeling toxic, you know, whatever that's looking like, or that it's you know, maybe there's just a lot of drama, or there's a lot of something, you know what I mean? Really pay attention to your intuition, you know, be mindful, really just of who we're connecting with and what we're connecting with, you know, and trying not to, and you know, if something happens where we might get caught up in something, remembering that things only, and listen, Leo, especially if this is some sort of like vice or anything like that, you know what I mean? Okay. So I say that be mindful of how much power we give to something, because listen, the devil and I, moon stuff. The devil and I got a past, and it's, we partied quite a bit. And you can create this weird kind of persona around it, and almost kind of, you got to be careful about how you get trapped in that sometimes, because it could even be something where, because devil situations are sneaky, because they can come across as a lot of fun, something like, oh yeah, it's that immediate release, but it's just like, is that really working for you long term? Is that really something that you want to make a habit out of? You know what I mean, Leo? And at some point, especially with where these energies are at, we got to face that. So, and that's where I'm saying this is not a judgment here. This is, I get it, but it's acknowledging that thing, and be, again, really, I can't really emphasize that enough. Be kind to yourself if this is resonating with you in any kind of way, because it happens to the best of us, but that's the universe reminding you that you're the best, Leo, and that you can get over this thing. But we got to get eyes on it first, and then we got to see how this may be affecting yourself and others, just again, this is because when you get into that stuff, sure, it might start internally, but eventually this thing starts bleeding outside, if we don't get eyes on this stuff, if we keep remaining imbalanced here, not seeking that truth, going for that growth. So let's get some tarot on this, Leo. Because this is exactly what Saturn's talking about as well. This when we're thinking about that retrograde energy. And there's the Fool. All right, Leo. So you got, let's see, Aquarius. So you have, let's see what's going down here. You got the Page of Wands, more people. Page of Wands, the Fool. Let me get it together. You got the Fool and the Nine of Wands in reverse, and then we have the Page of Wands, the Five of Wands, and then the Star upright. And so I do feel like, Leo, with this Star card here, again, if we have any areas that need some healing or something along those lines, if we notice, again, that whatever if our actions are putting us into conflict here, because the Five of Wands, this is Mars in Leo, and if something is dampening that sunlight, really diminishing your energies, preventing you from moving on to new heights, it's time to change something up here. And listen, that stuff over time, where sure it can seem like whatever and however this is, that's going to wane on your energy over time. If we keep this up and stay in that energy, it affects your creativity, it affects everything, Leo, and it gets you in where it's not like you're not going to get over this, but it's something where you gotta get eyes on this thing and start doing this healing work. But when you do, it really is, it helps unlock that potential, And the Star card too, Leo, this can be something where you don't have to do this by yourself. Maybe with all these people here, this might be something, whether this be, maybe a professional or maybe some friends, a family. Maybe if you're tight with your coworkers like that, maybe a coworker, but something along those lines to help you get through this thing if it is feeling like too much to bear. Maybe it's, it's more energy than you thought it was going to take here, or something along those lines. But let's start brainstorming. Let's start thinking about how we can alleviate some of this dissonance here and really get out of this low vibrational energy, because this is very interesting, Leo, because we're getting a lot of synchronous things lining up here, because the Star comes before the Moon, which and then we're missing you, Leo. We're missing the Sun. In between all of this, we have everything to move on to the Fool. Yeah, we really just need you at this point. So however this may be, and Leo, I'm not coming at you, but, and I hope you're not coming at you either. I really do hope that you're being, that, because this could, because sometimes it's just like, it can seem like a duh, like, of course, why would I end up in a situation like that? But it's just like I'm said, Devil situations are sneaky like that. You know, it's where we thought we might have had a grip on something, you know, whatever that is, it manifests in a different kind of way. But again, it's not just trying to just throw curveballs at you just to keep you down. It's to really try to strengthen you up and really to come into the best vibration of yourself. So, something to think about, Leo. All right. Now let's talk about the last one here. You know, Pluto and Capricorn. Because it's, you know, pretty, you know, retrograde energies in general are just, they're great energies for reflection, you know, and thinking about where we're at in life. And with Pluto retrograding in Capricorn in particular, there's going to be a lot of changes. You know, Pluto deals with, well, when we get into outer planets, yes, they affect us on an individual level, but they do see, you know, they really do have like big global impacts as well. You know, Capricorn dealing with like authorities and things, you know, there's going to be changes in some governments, you know, maybe change in how ambitions look. You know, the whole structure is going to be, the game is, absolutely. We're changing the status quo right now. You know, the rules of the game are totally shifting on their head here. And it's asking yourself, are we feeling ready for that? You know, are we ready to manifest in this? Because I mean, look at that. Even after that, you're ready to, yeah, but Pluto and Capricorn is literally just asking us, are you ready to bring it? And if not, what do we need to, what areas do we want to focus on so that we can bring in more energies of innovation and potential, really tap into your energy and who you are. And this really does seem like, Leo, a great energy for you to go find yourself, you know, excuse me, maybe going on like a spiritual retreat, or maybe even just going like camping, or, you know, if we're not doing any sort of like, you know, chunks of vacations like that, or, you know, periods of like little moments like that, then how can we make that like a regular thing? Maybe just having some a little alone time each by yourself, maybe each night, you know, maybe, you know, getting like a safe space, you know, in your room, and just like, you know, creating just some soft music, maybe light some incense and things. Because here's the thing too, Leo, this could be, you know, if we're in a relationship, you can still do this work on yourself while being in relationship. It's just, you know, it's just communicating this stuff, you know, not keeping this thing in your head. If you're feeling restricted, but maybe we're worried our partner's going to want to give this time, you know, I feel like when it comes for your growth and from your growth and things, I feel like this person would absolutely want you to get to your highest vibration, because when you win, they win, and vice versa. But, you know, a lot of deep questions, you know, these retrogrades really have us asking us right now. If we're not feeling accomplished in life and not feeling like this is where we expected things to be, how can we make that adjustment? But let's get another oracle on this. Nice. So last one here, we got the third card of Taurus, which is the Symphony card. And with this card, this is a card of harmony, synergy, co-create, assembly, organized structure, contribute, team, collaborate, precise, arrangement, order, lead, follow, organization, perform, display, and cohesion. And here's the thing, Leo. When you think about a symphony, if you have someone who is playing out of tune and they won't, and here's the thing, it's one thing that when we play out of tune and then we address the issue, but if it keeps happening, and there's no kind of growth that's going down, we gotta see how we can work on removing that, whether that's being boundaries or whether that be, you know, however that may translate. But this is you know, the energies here are pretty much saying, Leo, let's get back in harmony. You know, let's really get into your energy, and this could be, what better way, you know, or one way to maybe do this than to do some, you know, maybe some creative things with some other people, surrounding yourselves with some healthier influences. Maybe this is something too, like, I don't know if it's like the crowd that we might be hanging out with, Leo, or what that is, but Yeah, just something here that maybe we need to maybe take instead of being in the symphony, maybe we need to take charge and be the conductor, you know, and change this melody. If we've been playing if it's been just kind of the same old tune, and you've just been stuck in that, you know what I mean, Leo? Let's switch this up here, because spilled milk is just going to keep happening, because that's basically a tower, you know what I mean? And yeah, let's see if we can get out of this and change that that energy. But let's get some tarot on this. All day. All day. I'm with it. More. All right, Leah. Last little bit on this epic journey here. So, oh man, I got a mess here. So you got the 5 of Swords, the 9 of Cups upright here, and then you have the Ace of Cups, the Hanged Man, the 6 of Cups, and the Death card in reverse here. And let's go ahead and switch back over, because Leo, even look at how you're syncing up with the energies here. You got all the planets, Saturn, Pluto, and Neptune, the Hanged Man being Neptune. These are all the planets that are going to be going retrograde during the season right now. And I really feel like that if there's something that if you've been in conflict with, whether this be other people, but it's just really throwing off your flow, and it just feels like you've just been attracting the same old nonsense, just been kind of stuck in, not even stuck in the past, but just been, yeah, just really the same thing's just been perpetuating over and over and over again. It's time to fill up your cups and to really focus on doing that heart healing, and just focusing on you right now, because there's something here that's trying to change, Leo, with this death rebirth card here. And when we accept this change, Scorpio energy, because after Scorpio is Temperance, and then once we've gone through that change, that's when the devil is going to come around again. Going to do and it's just a check-in. And listen, I know the devil can come in. He does check-ins in very unorthodox ways, and it can be a little weird sometimes. But it's there to provide a new perspective for you, Leo. And if we've been going at the same thing, then this is higher self just like, all right, we got to pause for a second, because we got to create some new memories here with the 6 of Cups. And yeah, Leo, I just really feel that this is going to be a very introspective time for you. I feel like it's because even thinking, you got Neptune and Pisces here, and Pisces, now Saturn's around here somewhere. Saturn and Pisces, it's really something about, there's really strong energies here of just syncing up with you right now, and just really focusing on what's needed to be done for you right now. So that's interesting, Leo. I think I'm going to leave that there. So yeah, just a lot to think about on this, Leo. But I'm with it. Like when whatever's growth is about to come from this, it's going to be fantastic. Because come on. You literally are just working up the major arcana train here. 12, 13, 14, 15. It's just like we're missing random bits here. But I'm excited to see what's getting ready to happen for you, Leo. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave that there. But yeah, give that a thumbs up. And as if you notice someone who may come across, situations like this, or might be in something right now, Leo, share this. Absolutely. Let's try to see if we can, maybe get out of this cycle, whatever that's looking like. And again, if you find yourself in something like that in the future, remember, it's ultimately meant to bring you towards expansion. Sagittarius energy with this Temperance card here. But, and then if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I have these videos each week. And then, maybe something to think about. All this talk of meditation and stuff. I'm on this meditation app, Insight Timer, and I started a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. Just a group to post positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And definitely as the group grows, I want to start scheduling different meditation groups and things, maybe dealing with vices with the devil, overcoming addictions with the devil, or something along those lines. But, all that information's in the description box. And then lastly, if you have any Cancer in your placements. You know, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, wherever, Leo. Come on over to my other channel, The Cherried and Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And I'm gonna be geeking out this whole birthday season, because when it's my birthday might be a month away, but we go big or go home, Leo. But all that housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you a surprise card here, so I can get you out of here. Absolutely. You have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse here, and when you think about the aces, because now that you got, oh, where'd the Ace of Cups go? Oh, there you are. The aces are seeds. I'm about to get your oracle card here in a second. And if we don't like how these seeds have been invested, how can we feel this week? It's time to nurture that stuff. It's time to go back to the drawing board and see what tweaks we need to make. And absolutely, you got the Vision card in reverse. We gotta get eyes on this thing. We gotta figure out what are you seeing then? You know, what do you want to adjust? You know, and listen, Leo, this can feel like a lot. You know, whatever this is, I'm not expecting you to, you know, no one's saying like get this all solved right now. It's just, how can we start taking steps towards it? And then tackle things as they make sense for you. Get a game plan again. You know, let's map this stuff out. Maybe do it by lunar cycle. Maybe do it by solar cycle. Whatever the hell that looks like. But just doing something to really just kind of change this image or something along those lines, if we've been feeling that that things have not been working so far. So, all right, I think I'm going to leave that there, Leo. So you stay safe out there. And listen, again, I'm not saying that we got to be necessarily walking on eggshells. It's just trust your intuition. Use that discernment. And if something doesn't feel right, let's analyze that some more. Let's maybe slow down a little bit before we go rushing into anything, Leo. Whatever, signing documents, whatever that's looking like. You know, let's make sure we're analyzing all of the things. So, and you raise your vibration through the roof. You know, we got, you know, Black Widows trying to come in here bringing some nonsense, and you know, it's a part of the balance. You know, we have these situations to help us rise to a higher vibration, and then we get to see things from a higher perspective and see what these lessons were trying to teach us and how we were going to grow. So, you know, remember that, Leo, and I will catch you on the next one later.